Hey, happy Memorial, guys. Out here walking. All right, so I wanted to talk to y'all about some. Um, and this is going to piggyback off of my, where my entrepreneur is at? Because I want to see y'all. I want y'all to see me transition. I know y'all done see me transition quite a bit the last 2 years, but yeah, this is. I want y'all to see me. You will see me transition into a billionaire. Okay, so I want to elaborate a little bit on, becoming an entrepreneur and the importance of it. Or just we can just talk about the importance of just investing and saving your money. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily being an entrepreneur, but the goal is to invest and be able, if something happens in your life, you're able to support yourself. You're not falling out and whatever. So first, let's just talk about this. Okay, my little story. I've been working since I was 14 years old, right? Always working for people. And as you come up, if you see nothing but your family working, well, really, my daddy was an entrepreneur. So, I think that's where I got that entrepreneur spirit from because my daddy, held down a business for like 20 years and he's able to just sit pretty and he's getting paid from the VA and everything else. So I wish I would have went to to some kind of military or something, but it's all right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I got that from him. But not only did I get that from him, I would say started noticing I was more of an entrepreneur and didn't want to work for people maybe when I was 15 years old. It's not because I was lazy, because I don't mind hard work and I still would work hard if need be or whatever for whatever circumstances. But I I was working at McDonald's. I was 15 years old, and I remember how the boss just kind of talked to me about wiping down some tables, and I remember I was cramping and just kind of like, I was like, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, that entrepreneur spirit kind of snuck up on me a little bit. Not that I was just being a teenager, and it could have been a little bit of that, but as I got older, you know, I saw how some people are when they are in charge of you or when, they're over you, how they can act and how they can, treat you and how you have to kind of bow down to them because they pay you. It's kind of like they have uh, power over you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn as a person. You have to learn how to work with people. And I can tell you, as I've been able to hold jobs for a long time, and so I know how to get along. You know what I mean? There's people that I still kind of work with and do business with that I've been knowing for a long time, or if they need me to come help them out, I will. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to have relationships with people. But sometimes, people, when they feel like they pay you or they're over you, they don't treat you right, or they feel like they can treat you anyway, or they can take something away from you. That's why being in management and leadership myself, I understand the power of having good people work for you and having good people, reliable people, and knowing how to treat them and knowing that sometimes they might have a moment. They might not be on all the time and they might not be as happy, or you never know what people are going through in their personal life. So as a manager, as a boss, or whatever you are, if you're in charge of somebody, you have to take that in consideration. You can't just allow your authority to just go over your head and not expect for people to be human, because a lot of these jobs, they don't want you to be human. Like, even sometimes when you filling out a job application or they doing an evaluation or a test on you, they ask you some questions, and if you put a human answer, you would not get that job. You know what I mean? So it's like you really have to be careful with that, you know. But like I said, some people, when they have control over you, they tend to treat you like crap. And if you get the wrong person in authority, it can be a nightmare. You know, um, if you got a whole family, if you got kids, and you got like a petty boss, or you got a power hungry, controlling boss, it's not gonna work. So you have to do what you have to do. I would say when you are working, when you are building yourself up, like I said in my last video, make sure you are saving money. Make sure that, you know, you are investing in a house. Make sure you are investing in something, or paying off a car, or trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, don't when you're working, and when you've been working at a job for so long, like I said, you know, anything can happen at any time. But don't be so scared to go out there and invest in you. You know, don't just rely on that job to make you figure out what your investments are going to be. And no, if you making that money at that moment, and you want to get a house, or you want to go pay off a car, or if you want to get some real estate property, or you want to invest in some real estate, you want to invest in a business with your friends or whatever, you go and do that. Do not allow that company or business, or whoever you work for, decide if you're going to do that or not. Because if that business decides to lay you off, or fire you, or whatever, or you get sick or whatever, you ain't gonna have nothing to show for it. And it takes experience and all that to understand that. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people sometimes let jobs and relationships define them, and they can, because you're so used to getting up, you're used to doing a routine, you're used to having to be there. It's like, you know, you're a robot for somebody else. And some jobs are really good. Not all jobs are bad. I've been blessed to have some really good jobs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna even front. But even if you do have a really good job, you still, as a human person, I don't care how good my job was, I always, in that encounter or in that relationship, I always can sense that person having a one up on me. You know what I'm saying? That could deter my whole future, which I'm not, as an individual, gonna let happen, because that's why I continuously build myself up. You know, if something was to ever happen in that job, you know, having something that you've invested in, you can always fall back on it. A paid off car. If you have a house, guess what? You can rent your house out. You can do so much stuff with your house, because guess what? You worked your butt off to get it. And you know what's smart about having somebody else rent out your house, especially the first few years of having a house, is that they are paying off your house. And if you get a good tenant in your house, guess what? You know, they'll stay there for a long time, and your house will almost be paid off. Okay? So that's one thing. I remember when I first started getting in this house process, I probably tried to get a house when I was like, maybe 6 years ago. And I definitely didn't have, I qualified. I got qualified for like $6,500. And I wasn't even making it, you know, as much as I make now. But I'm just saying, I got qualified. But something happened with my student loans, and I wasn't able to do it. Anyway, this video is going to cut off. I'm going to do a continuation on this, okay?